Let's cross to Canberra now and catch up with the new Deputy Leader of the Nationals across this great land, the Senator Perin Davey. Thanks for joining us, Perin. Congratulations on your appointment. The first thing I have to ask you is that if you win the election to be the Deputy Leader of the Nationals, you sit in the Senate, why wouldn't you then also just be the Senate Leader?
Because the Senate is going to be such an important part of the process over the next 3 years. It is going to be absolutely vital that the Nats use all possible resources to make sure we hold not only the government to account, but the 12 Greens that will be trying to dictate. We've already seen the Greens put out press releases demanding what policies they want to see through. And even Sarah Hanson-Young went so far as to try and dictate who should be the water minister on behalf of the government. So we need to make sure that we and our Senate team are very strong and very on the ball and very focused. Bridget McKenzie has the experience as the former Senate leader in the last term, and she will carry that on. And I look forward to working very closely with her and with David Littleproud over in the Reps chambers to make sure the Nats continue to do their job, which is to focus on the regions and make sure the regions are not forgotten.
Yeah, it looks like David Littleproud ends up getting virtually 2 deputies for the price of 1, with, of course, Bridget McKenzie, as you say, being the Senate Leader and you being the Deputy Leader, even though you're in the Senate as well. You come to us from Deniliquin, of course, not from Canberra, as I mistakenly said at the start. Pretty powerful part of the world now, isn't it? Northern Victoria and southern New South Wales when it comes to coalition women. Bridget McKenzie, yourself, and of course Sussan Ley.
Very exciting times, and for regional women, for the Libs to actually have appointed a regional MP as their deputy leader is such good news, and it's so exciting for the regions. It just makes us even stronger as a coalition to fight for the regions, to make sure regional industries are not ignored, our resources industries, our primary industries, our farmers. We need to make sure we hold the new government to account and that they don't run from the regions like they have done in the past.
Let's just have a look at where the Nationals are going, and here's what your new leader, David Littleproud, said yesterday.
And this is not about the National Party lurching left or lurching right. It's using common sense and being in the sensible centre. That's where you win elections, not chasing extremities. And the National Party proved that when we signed up to net zero by 2050.
Now, Perin Davey, does this mean you're moving to the centre? Does this mean the Nationals are moving further left, or are you already there? And does that mean then that net zero by 2050 is set in stone?
Well, I would argue that the Nats have always been the pragmatic centre. On certain issues, we might be more right. On other issues, farming and knowing that farmers are our environmental stewards. We're definitely in the centre. We had our debate regarding net zero 2050 last year. It was long, it was extended, it was respectful, and we landed where we think is appropriate, which is that net zero 2050 can be achieved, but it should be driven by market forces. It shouldn't be driven by tariffs and taxes. And what we need to make sure of is that the opportunities presented by net zero are actually grabbed hold of, and the regions are rewarded through their efforts, because in the past it's been too easy to make the regions pay the price.
All the experts, the experts here and around the world say you can't get to net zero by 2050 on current technology. Does that mean that the Nationals will consider domestic nuclear energy?
We've already been speaking about domestic nuclear. It is a conversation that Australia needs to be mature enough to have. And I have been frustrated. I've spoken in the Senate during the last term of government about the need to have a conversation about nuclear. The Nationals are on board with needing to have the conversation about nuclear. We just need the rest of Australia to allow the conversation to take place, because every other nation in the world that is talking about net zero by 2050 has nuclear as an option.
Yeah, you've got to have those tough debates. You've got to have a proper debate, as I said at the top of the program. Here's another debate that's unfolding in this country. I'll show you what the new Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, had to say yesterday.
We will show that we're an inclusive and mature country by recognising the privilege that we have of sharing this great island continent of ours, this great multicultural nation, with the oldest continuous civilisation on the planet, and recognising that in our Constitution with an enshrined voice to Parliament.
Perin, just very quickly, can a Conservative party like the Nationals actually accept an Indigenous voice to Parliament, allow Indigenous people to at least have some say over the laws that federal Parliament makes for their people?
There is, you are absolutely right. This is an ongoing conversation and it's a debate. I don't believe we have landed at a place yet where the majority of Australians would feel comfortable with having an Indigenous
they might if you lead the debate.
Voice to Parliament. We need to have more of the conversation. The Nationals party room also needs to have more of the conversation. We welcome Jacinta Price into our party room on Monday. Fantastic to have her there. We're going to have more conversations about this. But right now, if the government chose to have a referendum in the shorter term, I'm not sure the Australian public would back it in. So, but they need
I think there's a lot of discussion.
Their own rhetoric.
Yeah, well, there's got to be formal proposals and a lot of discussion first, but we'll keep that conversation going. I'll have to get you back on another time, Senator, to talk about Keanu Reeves and you serving a mistake. I'll try and get that one from you next time. Thanks for joining us. Senator Perin Davey there, the Deputy Nationals leader, and it is true, she used to work on movie sets and served Keanu Reeves when they were making The Matrix.